Ready, start. We have given thought to the matter and the submissions of the learned council, and have no doubt whatsoever that the dragging of the proceedings for 3 decades have been a grave injustice to the appellant, who have been deprived of the enjoyment of the property despite having paid the full auction price 30 years back. Merely because the respondent number 1 is an improvement trust does not give a license to take a citizen's right for a ride. We may notice at the threshold itself that though the right in property is not a fundamental right, it is still a constitutional right under Article 300A of the Constitution of India. Thus, a person can be deprived of the rights of the property only in a manner known to law. The acquisition proceedings in respect of the land in question sought to deprive the owners of their land, which had to be paid for in terms of the provisions of the Land Acquisition Act. The amount of compensation was determined by the reference court under section 18 of the LA Act, and the matter was not taken further. Thus, both the owner and the acquiring beneficiary agreed to the compensation as determined by the tribunal. The next step should have been to immediately pay the amount to the owners, which did not happen. On the other hand, the owners were made to run from pillar to post, and ultimately the execution proceedings were filed 6 years after the amount had been so determined. This conduct of the respondent trust itself is not condonable, and this is what resulted in the proceedings for execution. The auction and the matter being dragged on for decades. The fact on the first execution petition being dismissed as not satisfied will not, in our view, preclude filing of the second execution petition giving details of the property. In those proceedings also, the respondent trust choose to absent itself. The execution proceedings have to proceed in accordance with the various stages as envisaged under Order 21 of the said code, and those stages were duly followed. In our view, there is no irregularity or discrepancy in identification of the property when the site plan was filed with it. We have reproduced the site plan so as to make it explicitly clear how the bounded property was clearly described. No doubt originally khasra number 271 was not mentioned and only khasra number 272 was mentioned, but that would have been relevant if there was a problem in identification of the property and the ownership of the property. This was not so. We may also note that when the objections were filed by the respondent trust, issues were framed. On the basis of the issues framed, evidence had to be laid. Despite various opportunities, the respondent trust did not lead any evidence, and we have dealt with the aspect factually in detail while referring to the proceedings before the executing court in the first round. The second round arose only on account of the benefit given by this court in the first round of proceedings that the respondent trust should be able to assist the court. In fact, the maximum indulgence which would be shown was shown to them, predicated largely on the fact that respondent number 1 was an improvement trust. Stop. It is a fact that in the various stages of execution proceedings, what was required to be done by the respondent trust was never done.